Okay, designing and implementing a security plan. You want to look at security inside and out. And why do I say that? It's because more than 60% of the violent incidents that occur at houses of worship happen outside the building. Okay? So you don't want to overlook your parking lot, because that's your first line of defense. That's your situational awareness. That's your first alarm or alert. So your security strategy should encompass your entire premises, from your parking area to your inner offices. The goal is for visitors to feel safe. If you're a first-time visitor coming to your house of worship, you want them to feel safe, right? And you want them to come back. And a lot of this is visual, and then how you greet them and whatnot. Using guards, surveillance cameras, better lighting, and access control measures ensure every area of your business is safer. Do you know there is actual data and proven research that lighting reduces crime? And we use that in court all the time on these security negligence lawsuits. So if you need that information, I'd be happy to send it to you. Have annual security reviews. Reviewed annually after any major changes, any additions to the building, changes to the parking area, structural changes. And when I say annually, you don't have to have like a formal team from FEMA come down. You can just do it in-house, internally, with your leadership staff, with your elder team or your ministry security folks. Just have somebody identified that can do that, sign off and date it, so you know that has been completed. Issue clear security policies. What is and isn't allowed at your business? Which exit and entrances are off limits outside of emergencies? And are weapons allowed on the premises? And if so, is that posted? Always create clear security policies that tell employees, visitors, and customers exactly what is and is not allowed. This ensures there are no questions, reducing the chances of security incidents. Use clear signs and details at your doors. That's very helpful. The more signage you have, the less questions you have, the better off everybody is. Because a lot of people have questions, they're just afraid and they're uncomfortable to ask. So help them out by using the proper signage. In-depth training. Safety and security is everyone's job, right? You may enforce a rule that no one is allowed to walk to the parking lot alone at night. Oftentimes there's late night or evening activities, or during the winter months it gets dark early. You may want to have a rule to just have a two-person escort, right? Or a one-person escort, or a buddy system. I did that when I worked for the county, just walking employees to the parking garage at night. It's a nice service and it makes them feel safe. Training should include how to report suspicious activity. There's a SAR report, suspicious activity report, that you can complete with your local police departments, and you can also have internal processes on how to document that. But you should track that stuff, because nowadays you can't take a chance of thinking that it's a one-off. You have to be diligent and proactive and attentive to things that don't seem right. We can't have the benefit of the doubt anymore with what's happening in our society. And then train them on the security policies so they understand where they are, what they are, and the why behind the what to the policy. So they have a fundamental understanding of your policies, safety and security. Prepare for your insider threats, like I recently spoke on, and encourage your staff to report anything they find suspicious or out of the ordinary. If they feel threatened or harassed, ask them to report to your security, safety, HR team, administrative office. Have a point person, however your house of worship is set up. Some are large, some are small, but encourage them that it's an open door policy, that they can feel free to communicate if they feel uncomfortable or harassed. And then have a plan for emergencies. Create clear strategies that could affect your business, such as natural disasters and employee violence. And one thing is, most of you on this webinar are probably around my age, I would assume, or younger. We all had fire drills in school growing up, and we all knew the fire drill, and it wasn't a big deal. It didn't traumatize us. It was just something that we did, and we knew where to go and where to evacuate. But how many of us actually experienced a fire during the K through 12 school years experience? Not many. It's very rare that there's a fire in a school, yet we all do fire drills. So you take that methodology and you apply that to violent intruder, active shooter. How often are we doing that? Lockdown procedures, shelter in place, evacuations. It shouldn't traumatize us. It just should be a second nature. Take your earthquake plan, your earthquake evacuation plan, or your natural disaster evacuation plan, and it's already ingrained in our brains. We already know where to go, what doors that we're evacuating, where our rally points are, and just use that, just recycle that for the active shooter. And that way everyone knows where to go and what to do, so you don't have to recreate it and cause stress and overload on your system when you're under duress. It's just things to think about.